hardly know where to begin. I remember we were cruising home from the Beatles concert. I'd had such a wonderful evening sitting there watching my baby screaming and tearing her hair out and carrying on. She was so full of life then. Well, we were about 3 miles from home when all of a sudden it started to rain. And I do mean rain. I couldn't hardly see nothing. Well, we kept driving for about another mile when all of a sudden I see this stalled car right smack in front of me. Well, I wasn't about to slam on the brakes because I didn't have none to start with. So I swerved to the left, and what do I see? Some mushhead on a motorcycle heading right at us. And I knew at last, me and my baby were about to meet the leader of the pack. Well, when I come to, I looked around, and there was the leader, and there was the pack, and over there was my baby, and over there was my baby, and way over there was my baby. I want my baby back, gotta have my baby back. It's been many months now since that fateful night, and you know something, I've tried. Believe me, I have tried, but I just can't make it without my baby. So I've decided I'm gonna have her back one way or another. Oh baby, I dig you so much. Hot dang pay dirt.
Hey, there's gonna be a great big party at my house. La 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 la. That's cool, but I'm charging $2 to get it to my house. La 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 la. That's right. Yeah, the food and the drinks are all for free, but if you want a plate of cup, you gotta buy it for me. Now there ain't gonna be any kissing on the dance floor. La 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 la. That's right. But there ain't gonna be any dancing on the kissing floor. La 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 la. That's cool. I got a lot of fine records for you to hear, but my phonograph hasn't worked for over a year. La 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 la. That's cool. La 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 la. That's right. La 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 la. That's cool. La 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 la. That's right. Yeah, that's cool. That's right. There'll be lots of pretty girls that will love to rock. La 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 la. That's cool. But they all gotta leave by 9 o'clock. La 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 la. That's right. But later on, all us guys, we can go for a ride. I got a new motor scooter with power glide. La 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 la. That's cool. La 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 la. That's right. La 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 la. That's cool. La 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 la. That's right. Yeah, that's cool. That's right.
Zephyr in the sky at night, I wonder, do your tears of morning sink beneath the sun? Goddess of the universe, come quickly, for the call of thunder threatens everyone. And I feel like I've just got home. And I feel like this stranger's found a home. $100,000, maybe more, came crashing through my door. They came as fast as they could see. Then something happened to me. I cried in terror of the power that filled my room in light. It burned a cast in my soul. I was nowhere now whole. And I feel like I've just got home. Gathering her spirit, oh, she beckons to the God of nature. Spare them of their fears. Quicker than a ray of light, then gone, for someone else shall lead them through the testing year.
Listening to you, I want you to do Massachusetts.
Oh, you hum it, we can play it.
Yeah, you do that.
That's a tune like Billy.
Any particular reason why you want to hear this, Mike?
Well, I know I was going to. You should be doing my job. No, I just wanted.
How did you start in this game?
I don't know. I met this fella in a pub.
General tune-up. This is
All right, Billy Connolly did it and got away with it. Yes, great.
right.
No.
Sounds good. Come on, I'm getting husky.
Okay, we're right.
Massachusetts, folks.
Love these intros.
Tonight.
Feel I'm going back to Massachusetts. Something's telling me I must go home. And the lights all went down in Massachusetts the day I left her standing on her own, trying to hitch a ride to San Francisco. Gotta do the things I wanna do. And the lights all went down in Massachusetts. They brought me back to see my way with you. Talk about the life in Massachusetts. Speak about the people I have seen. And the the good times we had in the past. But we're both old enough to know good things don't last. Baby, you're just no good for me, and I'm no good for you. Let's not waste time talking. We both know what to do. We've got to get off this road to nowhere. It's time to get off this road to nowhere. You've got to get off this road to
Looking through a photograph, giving everybody fun, facing the locality, images melt into one. Fantasy the key to your health, turning pictures to your heart, facing the locality, images melt into one. And there are you, a mirror reflection, and I don't know, I'm smiling. And there are you, a mirror reflection, and I don't know, I'm smiling. Frozen to the bone, older than a stone, waves and water getting calm, images melt into one. Looking through a photograph, giving everybody fun, facing the locality, images melt into one. Fantasy the key to your health, turning pictures to your heart, facing the locality, images melt into one. And there are you, a mirror reflection, and I don't know, I'm smiling. Frozen to the bone, older than a stone, waves and water getting calm, images melt into one.
have to be beautiful to turn me on. Just need your body, babe, from dusk till dawn. You don't need an experience to turn me out. You just leave it all up to me. I'll show you what it's all about. You don't have to be rich to be my girl. You don't have to be cool to rule my world. Ain't no particular sign I'm more compatible with. I just want your extra time and your kiss. You got to not talk dirty, baby, if you want to impress me. You can't be too flirty. I know how to undress me. I want to be your fantasy. Maybe you could be mine. You just leave it all up to me. We could have a good time. You don't have to be rich to be my girl. You don't have to be cool to rule my world. Ain't no particular sign I'm more compatible with. I just want your extra time and your kiss. You don't have to be rich to be my girl. You don't have to be cool to rule my world. Ain't no particular sign I'm more compatible with. I just want your extra time and your kiss. Women, not girls, rule my world, rule my world. At your age, not your shoe size, maybe we can do the twirl. Hit me. You don't have to watch Dynasty to have an attitude. You just leave it all up to me. My love will be your food. You don't have to be rich to be my girl. You don't have to be cool to rule my world. Ain't no particular sign I'm more compatible with. I just want your extra time and your kiss.
Wrap your arms around me.
emotions control. Our feelings I can't find the words to explain. Just like the first time I'm helpless again. Wrap your arms around me, let your love surround me. Make love to me now like never before. Wrap your arms around me from the day you found me. You'll never be alone. The nights are so cold, with just your memory to hold. I've tried to be strong, reaching out, holding on. Alone in my bed, I cling to each word you said. Wanting you more every day we're apart, and each precious moment is safe in my heart. Wrap your arms around me, let your love surround me. Make love to me now like never before. Wrap your arms around me from the day you found me. You'll never be alone. Don't make it fall. Hold on to me. Do you want to stay? Make me the song. We was in love. Let the nights come on. Just like the first time I'm helpless again. Wrap your arms around me, let your love surround me. Make love to me now like never before. Wrap your arms around me from the day you found me. You'll never be alone. Wrap your arms around me, and you'll never be alone. Wrap your arms around me.
Starting out with the
Uh,
zoo.
Well, should we talk first?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talky talk. Christina. So, what do you think of that song? It's a nice song, right?
I think it's beautiful.
It's a beautiful song. Make love to me like never before. Is she asking for like a new position or a deeper emotional connection?
I'm guessing deeper emotional connection.
That sounds like a good way to make love like never before.
Yeah.
So, do you think that this person that she's singing to is normally good in the sack or normally not that good?
You're a dead fuck.
You're a dead fuck.
We watched Friday the 13th, part 4 last night.
Starring Crispin Glover and Corey Feldman.
Feldman.
And fantastic.
Mr. Fox.
If you like slasher movies, and if you like especially the Jason Friday the 13th franchise, I'd say I'd highly recommend Friday the 13th Part 4. Apparently, Part 3 was supposed to be the last one, and then it was very successful, and they're like, fuck it, let's make another one, but this one will be the last one.
But it ends on such a like sequel-y ending.
Totally.
So,
They're like, no, we can't do it. We got to do another one, and then another one, and then another one.
It's such a good ending.
But it's the funny thing because like we're really into Halloween as well. So just they're pretty similar franchises in that there are multiple sequels, and they kind of Halloween stays pretty true to the storyline, the basic storyline, whereas Friday the 13th goes crazy with story, with different narratives, different plot twists, different locales.
Well, like I feel like later on it does, but the first few are kind of just the same one over and over again.
That's true. They all take place on that lake, and or I guess the new one still takes place on a lake, but is it Crystal Lake or is it?
Yeah, it's Crystal Lake.
Okay. Well, that's the funny thing, because like okay, so like that family lives in that beautiful lake house or whatever, and like the kid forgets to lock the door, and the mom's or someone's like, oh yeah, like come on, we live in the middle of nowhere, nothing's gonna happen out here. But if you knew that you lived on a lake where like these insane brutal murders happened and they keep happening, you
totally
be like,
every single Friday the 13th, this frog boy comes and murders everyone.
So we kind of watched the first Friday the 13th, and then we jumped like way ahead to Jason in Manhattan.
Yeah.
And so there's like a pretty big gulf of Jason emptiness that we need to fill.
Yeah, we should probably go back.
Yeah. So it's kind
to
of like
the others.
Well, the other day when we were talking about watching the second one, it's like, I don't know if I just want to watch this guy stabbing people, because I mean it is basically that's it. It's just like introduce the characters
and then they die,
and then they slowly get stabbed or they get killed in different ways. And
I do like to see the different ways that people can be killed, though.
Yeah, I wish they kind of well, maybe it's good that they don't spend more time on it. It might be really disturbing, but it's kind of just like stab and go.
Well, yeah, they really like stabbing people like on a wall and then hanging them there.
Yeah, it's like
they're
you're saying,
artists. And
yeah,
they're like hanging their work on the wall.
Yeah, and it's funny, yeah, because in 4, the one we just watched, he kind of like puts everybody on the wall, right? It seems like almost everybody
everybody gets pinned to the wall.
They like stab someone in the back of the head, and then in the next scene they're like stuck against the wall. So he like picks them up. It's like, I want you here. And then he put Crispin Glover like up against the doorway.
Yeah, he like set up this whole elaborate death scene, and then he was like looking at it and he's like, no, this isn't gonna work. And he like takes him down.
Yeah.
And like drapes him over a log and stuff.
The best scene is when he's like somehow he's like scaling the side of the house. They don't show him scaling it, but he just appears
he just
there.
bursts through the window. There's another really good scene where the dog jumps through a window for no reason.
They never explain that. Just for
There's
some
actually
reason.
3 jumping through window scenes.
Oh yeah,
in that one movie.
That's true.
Never for any reason.
Well, the third one wasn't really jumping through; it was being thrown through.
Being thrown, yeah. But then Jason does jump through the window that he threw.
Oh, true.
The body through.
Yeah. The dog one is the most hilarious because it's like completely out of nowhere for no reason. The dog just jumps out of the second story window and then they never show it again.
Poor doggy.
Yeah, it was a good dog. Actually, he was kind of a bad dog because he didn't. I mean, he tried to like save himself by jumping out the window. He wasn't even trying to.
Yeah, totally.
Although maybe maybe they didn't show it, but Jason did throw him out the window. It seemed like he jumped out the window.
Yeah, it looked like he jumped. I mean, they should have shown him throwing the dog.
Yeah, totally.
If that's what was happening.
Yeah. What a brave dog, though, to like sacrifice its life just for a movie.
Yeah.
Just for Hollywood.
Well, our guest today, I'm very excited to talk to them. William Austin Clay. We're going to play a song from their new album. I have a sinus infection and I'm deeply depressed.
Full disclosure.
Full disclosure. So I apologize if my energy is low, but I want to get back into our Krang. I feel like it will give me life.
Yeah.
So here's one of my favorite songs from William's new album.
Everybody wanna act real cool, like everything's right. Ain't nobody wanna play the fool, but meanwhile, we might have issues. So anxious, frustrated, I just don't know what to do. Making a big deal out of something so small, trying to stand tall, dwelling on something they ain't notice at all. No need to feel bad, they're not thinking about that. They're not thinking about that. Everybody seems to have a clue, like getting hard to speak their mind. Feel like they can really read the room, but meanwhile,
don't know why you still believe it if it ain't even true. Always trying to find a reason, but it's just no use. Always relying on somebody else to come along. Got the conversation, I'm just like you ain't new. Don't know why you make excuses and stay home at night. Ain't nobody wanna judge you, but you think they might. Ain't no reason to be sad, so try and just relax. Just repeat back, it's okay,
we
believe
might
that.
have issues. So anxious, frustrated, I just don't know what to do. Yeah, we might try to hide it. So jealous, can't help it, I just don't know what to do. Making a big deal out of something so small, trying to stand tall, dwelling on something they ain't notice at all. No need to feel bad, they're not thinking about that. No need to feel bad, they're not thinking about that. Didn't feel safe in that space, taking all your energy. Take a deep breath and count to 3. Took a minute, now you're straight. Best believe you're doing great. Thought the gatekeepers wanna keep me out. All my old fans hate my new style. Now I see that the industry got a glass ceiling if you ain't got clout. Had to change my name, you can call me Yalc. Learned a lot, but this the real me now. All the real ones know, yeah, y'all hold me down. 1, 2, 3. Ain't thinking about it. Too busy acting like they fine. Ain't wanna judge, so just do it. You get through it. Come on. Ain't thinking about it. Too busy acting like they fine. Ain't wanna judge, so just do it. You get through it. Go.
Hey, William.
Hey.
How's
Hello?
it going?
Hey.
Do you
Hi, I'm
prefer
good. How
Will
about
or
y'all?
William?
I mean, I usually actually go by Austin.
Oh, okay.
That's like my middle name, yeah. So, Austin works.
We'll call you Austin then.
Cool.
Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, of course. No, thanks for having me. This is gonna be cool.
I've listened to this album like 4 times today, and I love
Nice.
it so much.
Yeah, it's great.
Cool. Thank you.
The lyrics on that last song they're like such a gut punch.
In what way?
Just like the feeling kind of like you don't have a place as an artist, and like that line, like, my fans don't like my new shit, and like, I don't know, just nobody's thinking about the stuff that matters to you.
Well, I would hesitate to give myself like too much credit there. I think I was more like imagining, and maybe this is like a weird reference to just throw out, but, and I don't even listen to this artist that much, but I was imagining like some like heartfelt, like emotional, like Drake verse at the end of a song or something.
Yeah,
like
totally.
That's what I was going for.
I totally hear that
so
influence.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, I don't really listen to his stuff that much, but I just thought it would be a cool way to kind of end a song or like end the album. So yeah, that's why I ended up with that.
Who are your like big influences currently? Or do you have any?
Yeah, like right now, I guess I've just like only been listening to Prince.
Oh, cool.
Ah,
Basically
nice.
exclusively. Yeah. I liked that Kiss cover y'all played earlier. I guess that's a cover, right? Like, yeah.
Well, it's
That's
actually the original recording of it. Prince like gave that song to Maserati, and then they recorded it, and he was like, actually, I want to do it because it's too good.
I don't think he realized
Right, I
what a
knew-
cool song it was until he heard their version. And
Yeah.
He's like, oh shit.
Right. No, I had heard that story. I didn't realize that it actually like made it all the way through like the whole recording process with another band, but yeah.
Yeah, but it could be just folklore, but that's what I read.
Right.
Prince lore.
Prince lore. What records have you been getting into of Prince's?
Well, they just released that like super deluxe version of Sign of the Times.
Oh yeah,
So
I
I've just
really
been
want to hear
listening to that.
Oh shit, I
It's
didn't
like
know that was a thing.
it's so good. Like I just put it on like shuffle and I just have been like listening to it. It's like 9 hours long. So I
Holy
just
shit.
like, let
Wow,
it
that's
rock.
amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Does it have
So, like,
like the crystal ball and like all like the records that he was making at that same time?
I love Crystal Ball
Yeah.
so much.
Mhm.
What's the other one?
See, I
Dream
hadn't
something?
really listened to those. Sorry, I hadn't really listened to those like kind of unreleased records. But yeah, they had like I guess Dream Factory and Crystal
This
Ball,
is
like just like
what
all the records from those albums. Yeah.
Those songs are so good. I don't know why they got locked away for so long.
Yeah, no, for sure. There are some like amazing songs in there. So it's been really cool like getting to listen through it again.
Hell
It's
yeah.
really inspiring.
I'm really like so blown away by the production level on this album. It sounds like the most hi-fi like pop music. Are you just
Thanks.
are you becoming like a wizard or
I mean, I have a lot of free time, so I do my thing, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been focusing like the last year, so like trying to get my production to sound really good, but also like just like arrangement and songwriting too. I feel like they all kind of tie in to make it sound like really polished and poppy. So
Yeah, that was super interesting. On your Bandcamp, you said that you charted it all out. You made lead sheets and of all the arrangements too before you.
no, sorry, yeah, it's just a melody and chords.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then,
And chords,
so
yeah.
after you did that, would you start with like making a beat for the whole thing and then building on it?
Yeah, and I'll like demo it like with just like usually like chords, like just like on a keyboard and like drums, just to get a feel for like the kind of groove or whatever, and then just kind of build from there. Yeah.
It's so cool and beautiful. And I love like, I don't know. It's just, I'm kind of learning how to do that now with like, okay, I make the plan, but it doesn't have to be just me with the guitar, like doing it. And
Right.
it sounds so good the way you're
Well, that's
doing
like Christina and I talk about that a lot.
Thanks.
How like you could write a song on an acoustic guitar, but then like once you like start like producing it or whatever, like if you're working by yourself and you're just layering instruments like one at a time and like working on the drum programming and stuff like that, that like it's a completely different creative process you know, because it's not really like singer-songwritery anymore now. It's like kind of like semi-electronic music in that way. And so like, yeah, like if you don't want to have this like strummy thing that's like taking up a lot of frequencies and energy, like, because do you ever write on acoustic guitar, or do you mostly write on like a keyboard?
Yeah, I mostly write on a keyboard these days. Yeah,
so it's kind of easier when you write on the keyboard, just because everything's like already there in that world.
Exactly.
I would love to hear that too, though. Like those, do you record those demos like as you write them?
Yeah, I just kind of like, I'll use like my phone and just record like memos, and then I'll like demo something in my computer, but yeah, just keys and kind of singing over it. I thought about doing like some like performances like that, or like, I don't know, doing something with that material too, but
I would love to hear it, because I don't know, there's just so much going on melodically, like against the chords, that I'd love to hear how it happens.
It's funny though.
Yeah, I mean, sorry.
Well, I was just gonna say, it's funny how like if you try to like make a song, or if you try to like perform a song that you've done so much production work on, and you try to perform it live on an acoustic guitar, at least for me, like I always feel like, well, this is so much more boring than the recording, you know? It's just like really basic. Because things can sound like, things can be like really kind of basic from like a chordal perspective, but like because there's like cool sounds happening around it, that's not really the focus. But if it's only you and an acoustic guitar, it might just be because I'm like such a chord freak, but that like if it's just a person and an acoustic guitar, like I'm watching what chords they're playing more than I would be if I was listening to something. You know what I mean? I'd be like, oh, D minor, G, C, F, how boring. But like if I was like hearing D minor, G, C, F in a song, it wouldn't feel as boring, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
No, yeah, I could see that for sure. I mean, I guess for my music, I always try to put like crazy chords in there, or like crazy chord progressions and stuff. So I think like this time around, having written all the material before like producing it, I think it might hold up in that regard, like kind of being performed like one-on-one. I haven't tried playing it with the guitar, but yeah, it'll probably sound pretty cool. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see.
So you say you demoed them and then you recorded them, but do you work out of your own studio, or did you go into a different studio?
I work from home.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like a part of the process. So like demoing it.
Sorry, what?
I'm sorry, just like
yeah.
That's like basically like, okay, I'm gonna start here, and then once I kind of figure out what I'm doing, then I'm gonna open up a new project and then start from there. Because I'm just asking because I never really demo. I usually just like, if I have an idea, I'll just start working on it, and then I wouldn't really be like, oh, okay, so this is the demo. You know what I mean? Like I would just be like, okay, I'm working on the actual album version of the song. Because I never really, if I'm going to be on the computer like doing shit, like I don't really think about like stopping at any point and being like, okay, now I'm going to stop this and then I'm going to start it again. So like why would you do it that way?
Well, I guess it's kind of specific to how I have in the past gone about like putting together an album. So a lot of times I'll demo like maybe 10 or so songs, like just like scratch demos, and then I'll like produce them from there. Okay. But like lately, like I've been like just like starting and like basically trying to produce a song all the way through before I go on and start a new song. So I'm like gradually moving towards that process and away from doing demos. But I guess it was just more because I'll like lose track of like which songs like we're working, or like I don't know, I'll just get kind of overwhelmed if I have like a bunch of like if I'm just kind of plowing through like one song at a time or something like that. But I think it's kind of come around lately where I'm having more luck with that stuff, and it's been working out.
Yeah, it's pretty wild because like I'm in that stage right now where I have like 16 or 17 different songs like in different degrees of like completion. And like you said, I'll kind of like forget about a thing that I was working on like a month ago because I'm like focusing on this other thing. And then but I kind of like working that way because like if I'm really feeling excited about a thing, then I like put all my energy into it and get it to a point where like, okay, this thing is done. Now, do I want to start a new thing, or do I want to go back and like kind of like figure out what could be cooler about something that I've already started? you know, so kind of like there's more, it feels more like spontaneous in a way for me than, because I know that like I've also like a couple times I've gone into a studio with all the songs and like with some musicians and like, all right, we're just gonna knock this out, you know, and then that's like a way of doing it. But if you're working by yourself and you don't really have a deadline, it's cool to hear like your perspective on it, because it's like everybody will have like a way of approaching it that just works for their brain and like helps them like stay productive and like stay focused. And then like if someone was trying to like use my method, it might like drive them crazy, and if someone's trying to use your method, it might drive them crazy, but like it just works for us on our own personal level. Christina has her own way of doing things, and so yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool. I love talking to musicians, especially like home recording musicians, just to like see how they do things and like see how different it is.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, I think that kind of circling back, like this, like Prince, like reissue album has been like really eye-opening, just kind of seeing how he's gone through different versions of songs. Like some of them are like 10 years old and stuff like that. So I don't know, it's just given me some different ideas, like how, like, because I guess I feel like when I do like demo songs sometimes, if I'm kind of like in the moment, I'll kind of get set in a certain like sound for the song instead of like thinking like big picture, like what like is best for the song or something like that. And you get kind of caught up in one way, and it's hard to like hear it in a different way. So I've been trying to do that, just trying to like with these new songs I've been working on, just trying to think of different ways I can approach like producing it and everything. And I think just the way Prince did that was really inspiring.
Yeah, totally. I love his approach to just like, what's the craziest shit that I can throw on here, and then like emphasize that above anything normal.
For sure, yeah.
In the mix.
Do you have a thing where like you kind of like separate your brain, where it's like, okay, so I'm writing these songs as like one part of myself, and then I'll be producing the songs almost as like an outsider? You know, like I feel like in a way, like if you were to like write the 10, like how many songs you're gonna have on your record or whatever, and you write them, and then you're like, okay, these songs are done. Now I'm gonna produce them, but I'm gonna kind of I'm gonna like come at it from like a different perspective from the person that I was when I was writing them, because I feel like you do need to have a bit of like disconnection from the material to be able to see the big picture, like you were saying, like to kind of like see it all and not get like hung up on like some aspect of the song that you connected to when you were writing it. Because like I've kind of discovered that like some things, well, especially like if you're like, okay, so like when you're writing the song and it's like often it's like wherever the vocal is happening, that's like the most important thing, and then like there'll be moments where there are no vocals, and that's obviously important too. But then it's interesting to know like how much space are you going to have where there are no vocals, you know, especially like if you're trying to make like something that's kind of more poppy. You know, and like there are like these like archetypes that we sort of like fall into of like, oh yeah, you're not going to necessarily want to have like a 1.5-minute instrumental section in your like 2.5-minute song or something like. But then I love like thinking like, no, I like breaking those rules and being like, no, that's dumb. Like it's sometimes it's cool to have like 20 seconds of vocals and 2 minutes of instrumental music or whatever, because like it's just it's fun and you should be free in that way. But Prince is cool too, because like Prince is like, he's like such a genre hopper, so he's like always jumping around from like doing like funkier stuff to like poppier stuff, like just like straight up poppy stuff to like kind of like pseudo religious stuff to like weird.
He's actually stuff. Or was actually religious, right?
Well, he kind of it seemed like, well, he was like a Jehovah's Witness for a while, and before that, I don't know like how he identified like what kind of religion he was, but I mean he definitely was like a spiritual person. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, like Prince is like such an enigma, I think, you know, obviously I think it was like a defense mechanism in a way, but also like just who he was like organically as a person.
Yeah, we'll never really know the depths of Prince's mind.
Yeah. Did you ever like read any like biographies or like see any good documentaries about him?
Well, the I guess Prince Estate or whatever like has a podcast like they've been doing. So
cool.
Like I've been listening to that where they have like interviews with like the Revolution and different band members and producer or like engineers and stuff. Yeah. So this last like series was like for the Sign of the Times reissue. So and I feel like I did kind of learn a lot, especially like in regard to like how you're saying he's kind of enigmatic. I feel like in the podcast they kind of painted him to be like that was just like the artist side, like the public persona, right? And then deep down, or like, you know, in private, he's probably more more of a chill guy, more a down to earth guy or something. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it's been cool. I guess maybe down to earth isn't the right term, but
down to Mars.
Yeah, right. It's been cool to just listen to the podcast and kind of look behind the curtain, I guess.
So I have a question. On the album, you say that you had to change your name. What is the story behind the change from William Austin Clay to Yalc123?
I don't know. I mean, like, I think it was like right when Corona popped off. I was just like had some free time, was thinking about stuff, and I don't know. I don't remember where, like, I don't know. I just started thinking about it. I think I was feeling kind of, I don't know, just like kind of jaded or something by like how I felt like like William Austin Clay was perceived by people who had known me throughout the years. Because I feel like now my music and the way I would like to like portray myself like in public and social media is really necessarily what I've done in the past, especially the farther back you go with William Austin Clay. Yeah, so I just kind of wanted a clean slate, and it means like sonically it's like different too. I mean, I guess the last few albums I did with William Austin Clay were similar, but I mean I don't think I paid as much attention to production as I had in these last like sets of songs. So I think it's like a lot of things.
Do you feel like
also I don't know why.
I mean, that's a totally legitimate answer. I feel like that a lot. Like, oh, I wish I could just like package all my mistakes and like shove them into the past and then start fresh. So it's cool. Sure. Do you feel like you have you want a cleaner sound now, and that's part of like the reinvention of what you're doing? Or is it just kind of a natural thing? Organic?
I mean, I guess it's kind of both, because I definitely like lately have been listening to more music that kind of leans on that side, like more like polished and kind of like almost like pop side, or whether it's that or like electronic music or something like that. So I think just like my ears kind of been drawn towards that, but also I just want to prove to myself that I can do it, basically, because like I think, you know, I had always been interested in this music, but I could never like afford the equipment to make like the electronic music that I wanted to make, or, you know, not electronic, but like electronic based, computer based music. Before I would just like basically play everything on guitar and like just acoustic instruments and like hardware, like synths and keyboards and stuff. But yeah, I think making that transition has played a part in kind of wanting to change my sound and things like that.
I think it's good. I mean, it's obviously like healthy for an artist to feel like they can change and that they don't have to just like regurgitate the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that like even like creating like a new name for yourself can be just like the optics of it just make you feel like, okay, now I'm sort of like, I feel more comfortable being something new, you know, or it's like, it makes sense obviously that it's new because I'm like framing it in a different way. You know, like if it's kind of a little bit weird, it might feel a little bit weirder to like keep the same name, like the same artist name, and to like change a bunch. I've kind of done that with my band of Montreal, and it's always been like, what is of Montreal? And you know, I don't know anymore. But then it also helps because if someone's like, I don't like of Montreal, then I'm like, well, what of Montreal are you even talking about? Because there's like 600 songs that like you can't dislike all of them.
I totally relate to that other line on the album though, where you say that like the old fans don't like the new stuff. But I was wondering if you actually meant that, if you actually feel that way.
Well, I like yes and no. I mean, not really that seriously. Like I know it's just music at the end of the day, so I don't overthink it too much. But definitely, like there have been people that have, you know, said like they like releases that are like a lot older, or like sometimes I'll make the mistake and go to like rate your music or whatever.
Oh
like,
my
I forget
God!
The name. Like yeah,
I'd love
like,
to torture myself with that.
No, see, now that I think about it, maybe that's why I changed my name. Like, I might have looked up William Austin Clay on there, and they were talking shit on it, and I was like,
what the fuck? What a bunch of losers.
No, I don't know.
No, but it's true. It's like every single person, like myself and Christina, every artist that like ever reads a comment is just like devastated because like comments are always so mean, and you'll never.
But it's so funny that is because there's a comment exactly like that on my Rate Your Music where it's like, her older stuff is cool, this project is pretty lame.
It's always like that. It's always like the older stuff's cool, the new stuff sucks. Like,
yeah,
can't
everybody gets that.
Yeah,
I think, and I think there is like a. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say I can respect someone feeling like that. Like, of course, I feel like everyone kind of feels like that at some point with some artists that they like.
Yeah,
but I'm
totally.
like, why do you have to share that? Like, why do you have to
That's
freaking
the
knock my
thing.
shine? Like,
That's
I'm just
the thing
trying
I
to
don't get.
get over like everyone else. Yeah.
Because, yeah, I definitely feel that way. But also, like, when I really like something that an artist has done, I just become so loyal to them that even if I don't like an album, it's like, well, why would I shit on it? Like, on the internet. Like, it's just so weird because I kind of think of them as like a peer in my mind, not just this like, I mean, I guess a lot of people just think of musicians as like cartoon characters. So maybe that is part of it. They don't really see us as humans.
Yeah, they just assume that like every musician is like so famous that they will never read anything that anyone would ever say about them, or they would never be like wounded by anything.
They would never be like looking themselves up on Rate Your Music and like crying.
Yeah, I can't do it. I can't look at any reviews because there's almost always they always feel negative. I mean, because I think that like, you know, it's like if someone could say like, every song in this record is fucking great except for this one song which totally sucks, and that would be the thing that would like stick with me, is like, I can't believe they said that one song sucked.
Totally.
You know, it's like, well, the review was like 95% positive. Like, no, but they said that one song sucked. That's so fucking embarrassing.
Well, I mean, I think because in your head, like a lot of times I feel like if you're putting out a record, you like put all this effort into the songs, like you probably think it's like pretty good, right? So it's like, I don't know, it's kind of it's I don't know, it's challenging when someone else is like kind of pointing out some issues that maybe they're right, you know, but it's like it kind of hurts deep down because it's like you were feeling so good at, or you know, I guess that's how I feel, maybe not everyone, but
totally. And you know, I think there's also an aspect of like, which is maybe different for someone like Kevin, who's like pretty established in like the indie music industry. But for people who are not, I think it's like you have this kind of sense of pride about what you're doing, like everybody does. Like you have to have a little bit of arrogance to even write a song and put it out there, you know? And
yeah,
then,
for sure.
And then if somebody's shitting on it, you're like, but I know this is good. Like, I know that somebody would like this, you know?
Yeah.
And it can make you feel kind of crazy. That's another line that I really liked where I can't remember what it was, but it was like, I can't remember it now. But it's just like knowing that your shit is good. Oh yeah, nobody wants to hear about what an artist feels or something. What was that line? Do you remember?
In my song?
Yeah.
I don't think I said anything like, wait, what?
Maybe
what?
you did, but you didn't notice.
No. I definitely hand wrote and like had to type out those lyrics recently for a release. So I'm pretty okay. What do you think the lyrics were again? Let me.
I can't remember the actual phrasing of it, but what I took it to mean was like, nobody really wants to hear what the artist, like how the artist is reacting to their criticism, or. But maybe I was just reading into it, my own projection.
Which I mean is totally fine.
Yeah.
I've like intentionally tried to keep, when I can, try to keep the lyrics pretty vague so that people can kind of just attach whatever meaning to it. Like I don't really like to have or lately I've been trying not to just like beat people over the head with like points and themes and ideas. Like I'd rather it be kind of like it's up to you as a listener in some regard. So if that's what you took out of it, yeah.
That's so interesting. It's like a Rorschach of my neurosis that I just revealed to everybody.
No, but I think it's true though too, because like it's such a bad look when someone like an artist is complaining on social media about a bad review. You know, in a way, it's like nobody really wants to like like for Lana Del Rey to be like, I can't believe that so and so gave me a bad review. You're like, what do you mean? You're famous. You're awesome. You're doing fine. Don't worry about it.
But okay, the point of what I was gonna say.
But I do it too. Like I did it myself.
Yeah, we all do it.
I did it. I was like, oh, fucking Pitchfork. I can't believe you gave me another bad review. You know, like I do it all the time. So it's like, but I know that nobody wants to hear it.
But where I was going with that is because I know you're not allowed to say it about yourself. I want you to know that your music is fucking beautiful and genius, and nobody deserves anything, but you deserve a lot.
Those radio music
thank you.
I mean,
yeah, totally.
Thanks. That means a lot. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like we don't get enough affirmation, you know?
Yeah, it's true, and it's never enough. We don't get enough.
Never
and it's never
enough. It turns out. I've been like producing and like doing music for like other people.
Cool.
And like recently, one of their releases came out, so it's been cool, like being like creatively fulfilled, but not having to like think about like how it's perceived. Like once, I mean, obviously, I want the song to do well, and I, want the artist to have a good experience with that song and everything. But I don't know, it's just like different than like having your name attached to it and like your like whole like brand attached to it, or what have you. So it's interesting getting that different kind of perspective on like releasing music and things like that.
Well, it's funny because like for me, like because I produced Christina's last 2 records, and so like if it doesn't seem like, if Christina's not like happy with how well they did, like I feel responsible. Like, oh, if you would have had a better producer, then because the songs are
well,
great.
I mean, we produced the last one together.
Yeah, it's true. So it's more it's just as
my
much your
fault. Yeah.
But like, do you ever feel that way of like, whoa, man, like they gave me the material and I did my best with it, but like if it doesn't do well, then it's almost more my fault as the producer than the artist? Or do you have like just kind of feeling like, oh, whatever, doesn't really matter?
Well, I mean, it's hard to say because this is like basically the first like real like song I produced with an artist that was like that they released. I mean, I guess the only other experience I've had like that was like recently, like this toy company hired me to remake the alphabet song, like the ABC song.
Okay.
Wow.
And they're like, yeah. And I was like, okay, I can go ahead and make a song about shapes or colors next. And they're like, let's wait and see how the YouTube video does. And
let's see how this alphabet song drops.
Yeah, exactly. I guess they're looking for the streaming numbers and everything. And I guess it hasn't been doing that well. Like it got like maybe 100 views and like 12 likes or something. So that, that kind of hurt me deep down because, I put my heart into that. But
oh, God, do I know that feeling. But you know what? It's just, you'll just like find yourself in the right place at the right time.
But that's a crazy thing because it's like, yeah, like I'm sure you're like me in a lot of ways in that like, and like Christina or a lot of artists, like you're making a thing and before you ever release it into the world, you basically get everything out of it that you could ever get. You know what I mean? Like before anyone hears it, before like it gets like reviewed, critiqued, appreciated or not appreciated, like you're getting everything that you could possibly get out of it at that moment. Like when you have the headphones on, the song is like basically done. You're like, this is fucking awesome. I love this. That's like the peak of the experience.
Mm-hmm.
And then you like send it out into the world and it just goes downhill from there. Cause like, even if like it did super well and became like super famous, you'd start to feel like weird about it because it, like, oh, I don't really respect people that much and all these people like it. Does that mean I'm like a sellout or that I suck now? Or like if it does really badly, you're like, God, fuck people. They're the worst. Why can't people love this song? Like it just like scrambles your brain in this crazy way where like you just can't win at that point. But like,
yeah, or like someone will really like it and you're like, well, fuck, I don't know if I can ever do anything anyone will ever like again.
Yeah, is that my one thing that I did that people like? But then,
I guess
you keep working. I mean, you're super prolific, so that's the thing. It's like when you're a lifer, then it doesn't really matter because you're like, I'm just going to keep churning shit out and hopefully people will like some of it. They won't like other parts of it, like whatever.
Well, the thing is, like, for all the music that I've made, I haven't actually like received any like criticism, like besides like rate your music. Like I haven't. It's not like I've
That's
got,
what I noticed that, and it's insane. Like, why?
Well, I mean, I don't blame people for not responding. Like I definitely sent like a lot of my records out to a lot of like blogs and stuff like that, and no one responded, right? And
Yeah.
I mean, I don't blame them, like looking back, because like I actually lately have been having a hard time like reconciling with the older material. Like I actually don't care for a lot of it.
Really?
So in that sense, I guess I kind of don't blame them for not messing with it, but I don't know. I feel
Can
like
I blame
lately
them?
I've been like,
Yeah, I love the old
sure,
stuff.
yeah,
The
I
new
guess
stuff's
I
great,
guess
the
go
old stuff's
ahead.
great. It's all great.
But yeah, I know like it's hard because
You feel that way too, right? You feel like people aren't really paying attention to what you do.
yeah, I mean, but also like I think that I have to be a little bit more like just have a better perspective about it and realize that like music writers get like thousands of pitches and they can't write about everything they get. And just because I disagree with some of the choices they make about what to write about, it doesn't mean that like I deserve that necessarily. You know, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's probably inevitable that you will always wish, like even like Taylor Swift or Lana Del Rey or any of these people that are like super, super, super famous that get so much press, it'll never be enough, you know, because like they still find like, oh, I can't believe NPR gave me a 7 out of 10, you know, like.
Yeah, and it does bother me when I see like indie blogs that are supposed to write about indie music writing about like mainstream stuff, like not really stretching out too far, but I don't know. What am I going to do about it? I can't like yell at everyone and tell them I'm great.
Well, yeah, I guess, and maybe I'm not maybe, I'm definitely like cynical about this, but I feel like a lot of there's a lot of like gatekeeperdom in like journalism, music journalism, and like booking too, just like a lot of like industry stuff. So I just feel like, and you know, obviously not all writers are privy to that or like do that, but I feel like in general that's been my perspective as someone from like just outside the gates that are being kept, you know. So I don't know if that's like part of it or something. Sometimes I wish I was the gatekeeper, you know.
I know. Don't we all? I really liked what you wrote on the Bandcamp about this album and that experience of like seeing I don't know. I do feel like people get sorted into like what kind of music they're expected to make. And if you don't fall into that, you're not going to get written about because nobody knows how to talk about it.
Sure. Yeah, and I guess that's something I've had to deal with too. And I mean, that also kind of connects to like booking too. I feel like people don't know who to like book me with or like what's a good bill to fit me on. But also, yeah, I mean, I like worked with this press team to like get the record out to different like college radio stations, and like some of them got back and they said something like it's like too eclectic for their taste or something like that. And I just always, you know, have to keep in mind that like yeah, you know, not everyone has the same taste as me or is going to hear it in like with the same like or like reference point as me. So I just have to like keep that in mind, I guess.
Do you think about that, like branding and like how you will like attempt to frame it so that people can like wrap their heads around it in a way, you know, like it's interesting how like what a large role that plays, but like it's kind of a sort of thing that most artists don't really want to spend time on because it just feels a little bit icky to be like, or it feels like performative in a way that feels like, oh, am I like being phony with this? You know?
It's also hard when you don't already have like a very wide audience, and so you don't really know like what are people appreciating about this, like how do I even package it? you know, I feel that way, like I don't know what to say about it.
Sure.
Well, I think about like the 60s and like the Who and, you know, like bands that were like Sly and the Family Stone, Parliament, like so much of like what they did, it was the music obviously, but there was like other aspects of it as well, like fashion and you know, like just like how they
like the invention of funk was like part of the whole thing. It was like, here's the package that we're giving it to you in. The package of funk. But
I mean, obviously it's like the hat the person's wearing and like the jeans that the person's wearing or like the boa or like whatever it is that's gonna like make you feel like, oh shit, I want to hear this, I need to hear this, this is cool. Or like with the mod, with like the 60s mod thing, it's like, yeah, they're wearing like whatever, the Union Jack whatever. You know, it's like that kind of thing of like having how much fashion, because like Prince is a perfect example. Like he was so good as like being the sort of chameleon that was always exciting to look at just as much as it was, you know, to hear. And it's kind of like that thing of like, you know, you eat first with your eyes. I think you might hear first with your eyes, you know, like in a lot of ways. Like, so if you're like looking at something, then you're like, whoa, this looks sexy, this looks funky, this looks exciting, this looks like liberated, I want this, you know. And so like that's like a part of, I feel like in a way, like that's kind of an important part of like what you do if you're trying to be like more commercial or whatever, that like you do have to consider that stuff, and you do have to just kind of like try your best to like crack that code. And so yeah, it's hard because a lot of times you just want to make shit, you just want to make music, and you don't want to have to like jump through hoops to get people to listen to it or whatever. You don't like set yourself on fire to get people to listen to it, but like some of that you kind of have to do in a way, like to like make it more like attractive, you know, to like draw people in, you know, in a way. I don't know. I was just wondering if you like think about that stuff at all.
Definitely in the past, but like I guess just with this last record, I was like, okay, let me just like not care, because I mean, no, I've tried like really hard. I've like busted my ass like making music videos and like trying to make really crazy album artwork and like all this stuff, and then it doesn't really, to me, feel like it makes a big of a difference in the end. And this time around, I mean, I guess it's like I have more of a platform now than in the past, so that definitely plays into it. But this time around, I basically didn't do anything. Like I just like dropped it and like didn't like try to like take some cool pictures like of my cool outfit or something like that, which I have done recently. And I mean, people respond to it, but that's like not, I don't know. I guess it boils down to like, ultimately, like it'd be cool to like not be seen. I don't really care to like be perceived like visually, like physically by people and just in general, let alone like as it relates to my art. I feel like, you know, because I feel like if I was like really hot, then my music would be popping off, you know? So I'm like, well, if I'm gonna be like not hot, then I wish people could just not see me anyways, because I feel like it almost works to my detriment. I mean, obviously that's a really simplistic view, right? And not everyone's like that, but I feel like just like with like social media, and now it's like literally everything is just like on Twitter, on Instagram, right? Because we're all like separated anyways. So I feel like it's become more like more important maybe for an artist or something. I don't know. As once again, just thinking as someone from like the outside looking in almost. But yeah, I've just been I think for like for the near future, I mean, as far as I can see, I probably won't be doing much like trying to brand myself as, I don't know, it just feels weird now. It just feels really weird. Like it's 2020, like all this shit that's going on, I'm like, let's check out my new fit, like check out I don't know. But I guess more power to people that are into that, though. That's just not me, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a really different experience depending on like gender representation, race, what kind of music you're making, like who your audience even is. Like, I feel like it just gets really complicated.
But I think it should be something that we have fun with, you know, because like
for sure,
you know, because I think that like your album cover is really fun and cool, and that like no matter what you do, you're saying something. Like even if you just have like, you know, a red square or something, like you're saying something. It's always going to be a statement of some kind. And so, I thought that
I do feel sometimes though, like at least in my experience, like my identity often gets in the way of how people are hearing the music, and that's frustrating to me.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I can definitely connect to that thought of like, I don't even want people looking at me. I just want them to feel me in a way. Like I just want them to like hear it and feel it. And I don't want like this to like even be a part of it. Because it's not a part for us. Like we don't have a mirror in front of us, you know? We're seeing this, and we just want everyone to see this too, you know?
No, exactly. It's like when I'm making the music, I'm literally just like chilling in sweatpants, just like at home, like barefoot, just like, hanging out. And that's not what you show, you know, typically for like, you know, your album cover or something like that. So it's just weird navigating it, but also really cool when people can like capitalize on it in like a creative way or like an inspiring way. I just feel like I've been doing my thing a little bit differently.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, you can't really force it. I mean, if it's like something that you just organically love to do, like obviously Bowie and Prince love to do it, and just kind of like a part of what they were. But yeah, if you're like, ugh, I feel like an idiot in this fucking shirt with like question marks all over it.
Yeah, I think I'm just like naturally vain and I love like makeup and funny outfits. So
yeah, it's cool.
Like I do that, but it's probably, I don't know, that's like a persona too, which is just another way of avoiding being perceived in a way. Like the glam way of avoiding reality.
That's cool though. Fuck reality.
Yeah, I don't like reality.
True. Yeah.
Cool, man. It was so great talking to you.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah.
Wait, can you tell us before we go what is coming up next for you and what the song is that you told us you produced of somebody else's?
Oh, okay. So the artist is her name is JPK, and the song titles have changed since I worked on it with her. So let me make sure I get the song titles right. But we worked on a few songs together.
Awesome.
But like it's like her latest EP, Text I Never Sent. Hold up, let me give me just a second. I don't have my references pulled up. Okay, so like they're called, the one song is You Took Me for Granted, rose colored glasses, and then My Demons Told Me. So yeah, just like 3 songs from that record that I worked on. And then for my future stuff, I guess this kind of goes back to what I was saying about wanting to kind of approach like the same song from like a different perspective, like kind of like how Prince does. But I'm working on like a remix album of this record.
That's awesome.
So I've been, so it's been pretty cool. I'm doing some, then I got some friends producing them, some friends like featuring vocals on it. So yeah,
so cool.
That's gonna be cool. That's what's up next.
Is that like, does that have a release date yet or still in the works?
No, yeah, it's just in the works right now. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I was thinking, it's like, I always wonder, like, is there a different energy that people put into a remix than they would like an album track or whatever? That like, I've been trying to think like, could I get into like that state of mind of like acting as if I'm remixing my own song that is gonna be the song, that's gonna be the album track, but like bringing that energy to the production, the initial production, rather than like, because I feel like sometimes like when you're remixing, you're like feeling more creatively free because you're like, oh, I can do whatever the fuck I want, it doesn't matter because the album track's already out, and this is supposed to be very different from that. So I think it might be, I've been trying to like get into that state of mind just in the initial recording of a song where like I'm gonna bring remix energy to the initial production, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think like writing out the music and having melodies and chords that I can just like use as like a foundation has helped me kind of do that as well. Like to kind of like I've been working on like some new material too, and yeah, I just have been kind of thinking about it the same way I might approach a remix, where it's like instead of what my first thought is of like what would work for this song, like I've been like trying to think like what's like the craziest thing I can do for this song, or like how can I just like, how can I put, like, I just got like the full version of Ableton. Like, how can I push Ableton Suite to like the fullest extent? Like, that's basically what I've been trying to do. Just going really crazy.
That's awesome.
Or trying to. Yeah.
That's badass. I can't wait to hear all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be cool.
Well, it was so nice to talk to you, Austin.
Yeah.
I was really depressed, and now I'm in a better mood.
Look at us. We're
thank
happy
you.
now.
Cool. I'm glad.
Hope you have a good night.
Yeah.
It looks like it's daytime over there.
It's daytime over here in Texas. I mean, it's coming down. Where y'all are in
Georgia.
Athens, Georgia. Yeah.
Georgia.
Sun's going down.
And the sun's going on down.
Yeah. It's almost dinner time.
Yeah. Well, it's good talking to you, and good luck and everything.
Yeah. I hope we get to play together again.
Yeah.
Someday,
definitely.
if that ever happens.
Yeah. Right. 2024 or something like that.
Yeah. All right. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. See y'all. Bye.
What song should we play?
Soft glitter cosmos. Soft glitter cosmos. Soft glitter cosmos. Needs a pig war. Flaming seeds. Good claret. Reversible surfaces. Cold ham. That stuff, that stuff. 797 piles of junk. I renamed in temporal pink grey purgatory as non-entities juxtaposed and sly unseen storage, bright flashes, unreachable things. Turn the joint into a right fucking circus. Circus. Delayed security clearance is no excuse to spread a fresh carpet of greenish spring down amongst that dream prattle. Acid blocker. Sustained release. First bridge. Across the bay. Welcome novelty. Whitest grapes. Welcome novelty. Whitest grapes. Iron neighbor template. Come down with rain fever. Turn off function. Iron neighbor template. Turn off function. Ruined love is found anew, rushing, boiling red mud. Ruined love is found anew, rushing, boiling red mud. Recursive sequence of government wagons, they meet me. More than not, a waste of shame, too thin to plough. Black cross holes. Back red sun. Over spark chamber. One after another. They all go from there to light chamber. And I attach a feast day. I attach a feast day. Soft glitter cosmos. Soft glitter cosmos needs a pig war.
I'd like to be your friend, but think of all the friends I've been. I never thought there'd come a day. I never thought I'd hear me say I'd disappoint you in the end. No new friends, please. No new friends for me. Memories of old acquaintance keep on coming back. Some I met at garden parties, buddies by a railroad track. I'd like to be your friend, but think of all the friends I've been. I never thought there would come a day. Never thought I'd hear me I disappoint you in the end. No new friends, please. No new friends for me. What we are is self-appointed. There's nothing we can do. We'd lose touch with one another, and that ain't fair to me or you. I'd like to be your friend, but think of all the friends I've been. I never thought there'd come a day. I never thought I'd hear me say I disappoint you in the end. No new friend, please. No new friend for tea.
All over you, you're just a soul on a worn-out shoe. Oh, the biggest mistake in the world is when a woman or a girl gives a man the world. He'll walk right over you and look over what you're trying to do. Take for granted that it got on you, a spell that'll make you move. Walking all over you. Oh, girl, what you trying to prove? Oh, the biggest mistake in the world. So when a woman or a girl gives a man the world, you don't have to crown him like a king. Walk him to his throne, throw his cape around him. Girl, that makes a man do wrong. You got to spoil him every day, every now and then. Let him have his way, just soothe him when you think he's strong. The biggest mistake in the world is when a woman or a girl gives a man the world. He'll look straight up to you and be proud of little things you do. Oh, he'll give you your respect because he never want to see you brag. Girl, you got him. You really got him. Yes, you really got him. Oh, you can get it, yeah. Oh, you can give him anything you want. Close their eyes, complaining they can't see.
Carrie's gone.
Carrie's gone.
So that's what happens when your girl leaves you for
a rock and roll man.
A rock and roll man.
You have to become a rock and roll man.
You have to become what you hated. You have to become the enemy within.
Yeah. Can you imagine, like, if I left you and had this, like, shitty boyfriend who was just like, Christina's gone.
You were nice to her. Now she's gone forever.
Like taunting.
Yeah.
So unnecessary.
Yeah. I wonder if, like, if you stole if you were like a lawyer and you stole a rock and roller's girlfriend, if the rock and roller would have to go to law school and become a lawyer.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be an
rock
interesting
and roll law school.
Part 2.
Yeah.
Sequel to Carrie's Gone. I like that his descent into whatever. What happened to him? Like he had like everything, man. He was flying high.
He was on top of the world.
Yeah.
He didn't pay attention to Carrie.
Nah. He didn't realize.
He took her for granted.
Yeah. He didn't realize how special she was. And then she left him and he had to turn to the drink and the rock and roll.
He had to turn to the guitar.
He seemed like he had the rock and roll strum down pretty well, though. He was like,
yeah.
Smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, where was that energy?
Strumming hard with a catchy strum.
Yeah. It's funny to imply that a rock and roll man would be a better boyfriend.
Yeah, definitely. Not. Well, it's hard to say. You know, it's like rotten apples and rotten oranges.
True.
They're both going to be coked out. They're both going to be abusive.
They're both going to be neglectful.
Yeah.
But
at least one of them you get to like
the musician's
travel.
going to be gone for like months at a time.
Yeah. You can get up to
if it doesn't take you.
You get up to your own dirty work.
That's true, yeah. More opportunities for you to be an asshole.
Yeah. I guess it depends. Do you want to be an asshole on the run or do you want to be an asshole in one place? Are you a homebody asshole or a roaming asshole?
Maybe they have an open relationship and they're fine.
Totally. Hey man, it's a different world. We were watching, in addition to watching not Halloween, Friday the 13th 4, we watched a great horror movie, well, mostly great horror movie called Ginger Snaps.
Oh, yeah. Well, we can't really judge. The first half was fucking unbelievably amazing. And then the second half, that was like right when Trump got COVID.
Oh, yeah, we were so distracted.
So we were
like,
just
holy
couldn't
fuck,
even pay attention.
Trump has COVID.
Yeah. That's why the second half of the movie seems bad. Because we were just like not watching it.
Totally. I mean, it's pretty hard to like upstage Trump getting COVID.
I mean, that's the best thing. That's
best part of any movie. And life. But let's talk about the chances that it's real and chances that it's fake. We both feel like there's a I feel like there's a higher probability that it's fake. Christina feels like it's pretty real as far as like, I think maybe the whole thing is fake and that he is just using it as a way to like boost sales for the COVID treatment that he's probably invested in.
I think he actually has it because he seems upset with the way it's being reported. And I mean, I'm sure they have a plan to like use it for their own nefarious gains and scheme, and
no matter what.
Yeah. But like the likelihood that he has it is just so high. Like that's one thing I don't get about the conspiracy people. It's like, is it really that surprising that somebody who like travels around the country talking to thousands of people, hugging and kissing cops, not wearing a mask, would get COVID? Like that is the most plausible thing.
No, that's true. I guess the only thing is like he's such a liar that like you just can't take anything at face value. It's just like he's probably lying because he always lies.
Yeah, well, I think he is lying about it not being serious. I mean, it's like we've given him like 9 different experimental drugs that should only be given to someone who's dying, but he's fine.
Yeah,
so
he's 100% fine. Totally asymptomatic, but he just wants to try out all of these new exciting drugs, these experimental drugs.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think that he would probably get pissed off that it wasn't covered right, even if he didn't get it. That's the funny thing. He'd be like losing the script and forgetting that he didn't actually get it.
That he like planted the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he'll just be mad forever because he's a narcissist and everybody hates him.
Yeah. Some people love the crap out of him.
Those people are crazy.
They're pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So should we talk to some Zoomers?
Yeah, let's zoom out.
Zoom, put him in jail. Zoom, cops and robbers.
How do we unmute?
Holly.
Oh, we should admit the...
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Holly.
Hi.
It's been so long.
Oh, it's been a busy week. My cat got surgery this week.
Oh, no. Are they okay?
Yeah, he got most of his teeth out in January, and he just got the rest of his teeth out.
Oh, little soft food boy.
You know, he's all gums.
Oh.
And he's really loopy on painkillers. So it's a whole thing. And my other cat is like missing him, so she's like crying a lot, which is
Where is the surgery cat? Where is the surgery cat? Is he like sequestered away in a...
Yeah, he's in my bedroom. Just he's usually like a pretty anxious cat. Doesn't really like to be around us very much. But with the painkillers, he's like so lovey-dovey and like stumbling around. It's ridiculous.
That happened with our dog. She got almost all of her teeth pulled, and she was so cuddly and like lovey, and then it never stopped. Like she just became, I mean, she was always really nice, but
yeah,
I feel like she just became so much more affectionate.
Yeah, she never would like sleep in the room with us, but now like she always wants to sleep in the room with us.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of what I'm hoping for. You know, it'd be a good thing to come out of this whole ordeal, this costly ordeal.
It's so expensive, isn't it? It's so crazy.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But our vet also keeps giving us discounts, and they say it's because they like our cat, which is like precious. It's true. If somehow he's like making friends with the vet, but I don't know. But yeah, it's a lot. Definitely a lot.
Poor little guy, little Chokus. Yeah. It's probably good they're separated, not just for safety, but like animals for some reason get scared of each other after they go get surgery. Mm-hmm. Our cat was afraid of our dog, and he was just like shitting and pissing everywhere.
Yeah, it's like they don't recognize them or something, and they come back with all these weird smells. They're like, "What's up with this thing?"
Yeah, it's kind of like
they're playing like a game underneath the door. You know, they'll reach their paw under the door and play with each other. I think they miss each other. I'm projecting onto the people who miss each other.
I'm so emotional right now that made me cry.
Yeah, I've been a wreck since the surgery, honestly. But
were you worried that he wouldn't make it, or?
Yeah, I don't know. So I'm the one who can historically like grab the cats on the first try and get them in the crate. And you never want to be in a situation where you're like late for the vet and chasing a cat around who's like crying. That's like the worst thing.
Yeah.
So I was really scared that like, you know, he would be like, once again, like Holly puts me in the crate and like gets all my teeth taken out. But he seems to be pretty lovey, so that makes me emotional, of course.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's like painful for them. I mean, I'm assuming you weren't doing it just to be malicious and they actually had tooth problems.
Yeah, and like he's typically like keeps his ears down a lot, which we assumed was because of the pain from his teeth. And at least with the painkillers, his ears are like fully
cute. That's
a good thing. And he like gummed my arm when I was like feeding him. He like bit me with his little gums. The poor thing. He was already like a ridiculously pathetic mushy cat, and now he's even more so. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad he's on the up and up.
Yeah.
And he made it.
Me too.
Oh, go ahead.
I was wondering, so recently I started listening to the radio more because I finally rescued my car from Texas, which was a long ordeal. But I found this radio station called WFMU, and I was wondering if y'all know of WFMU.
It's the best radio station of all time.
Yeah, I can't believe I never knew about it until now. But now I'm just like, I'm fully locked in. Like every time I turn it on, I'm like, you're kidding. Like,
totally. Yeah, there are a bunch of WFMU shows that I'm obsessed with. Yeah. Hardy White. I don't know if you've heard it. Best podcast out there.
Okay, it sounds super familiar, so maybe it was on for like a second one time when I was in the car.
I can't remember what days it's on because I just listened to the podcast version of it, but I think it might be like Thursday nights.
Yeah, okay.
He's
I'll
kind
try
of
to go somewhere on a Thursday so that I'm in the
yeah, I don't want to describe it. You'll like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. It's kind of like an older guy that has this amazing imagination, and he'll do these like kind of like radio plays where he does the voices of like 3 or 4 different characters, and they're all like just crazy. You can't even believe like how brilliant they are, and it seems like a lot of it is, maybe all of it is spontaneous, just like created on the spot.
It seems like some of it is written out, and then he like acts it out.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just kind of riffs on it. But his whole thing is like he's Southern Dada, like almost preacher. But it's like very non-denominational and like very inspiring. Like he might be the only good human.
I totally think that I did hear it once because I was like driving and I turned on the radio and there was some person talking to me about how they turned back time and everything
That's him.
like bad that happened to me hadn't happened yet, and then they turned time forward and everything bad was already past and like all of this. So
that's him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was just curious. And then I was also wondering, just like even for the music that y'all play here, like just generally where you find the music that you listen to, which is such a big question, you know, but like it's such interesting stuff.
I do a lot of digging through YouTube and Discogs a lot of the time. It's like if I hear something I like, I'll find out who worked on it and then look at everything else they did until I find something else I like. Also just looking at like if I find one weird random song that I don't know anything about and it's on a YouTube playlist, that usually means like the rest of the playlist is good and whoever made it has other cool stuff. So I don't know, just digging.
Yeah.
And like friends recommend stuff to me and I don't know.
Yeah, Christina always has really great new song like old classics that become classics. Should be classics but aren't classics, or like haven't been remembered in the same way that like the Eagles catalog has been remembered.
Yeah, part of it. I like a lot of popular music too, but
a lot of the songs probably were popular in their time, but they just haven't been like brought into the present moment.
Yeah, but I definitely prefer to find something that's like I think deserves love and hasn't had enough love. I feel like that's a thing. Like people are like, oh, not to me, but like there's that whole stereotype of like you only want to listen to stuff that nobody else likes because you want to be different. And it's like, well, I actually just really like it. And I think everyone should hear it.
It's also exciting when you see like, look, this song rules. It's got 18 likes or something. It's like, how is this fucking possible?
It's like finding diamonds in your backyard.
Yeah. If something's old and it has 1 million streams, you're like, oh, it must have been used in a movie or a TV show.
Yeah, totally.
And like, oh, what movie was this used in? Or what was this like the theme song to?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Dante and I definitely have started listening to a lot of the artists that have been like on the Crangs. We've been
that's awesome.
Cool.
The new Beth Anderson album where she's
my God.
like saying the names of all these people. And all
so
these
good.
Ways. It's fantastic. And the Accumulator by Data.
Oh my God, I love. Yeah, I love that so much.
Those in particular stick out, but we have a going playlist, that we've made of compiling some of the
That's
stuff.
so cool. That makes me so happy.
Yeah.
Beth Anderson I found because she was a student of that guy Robert Ashley. He's a really awesome composer who makes these kind of like he's no longer living, but he made these like contemporary opera movies with this guy Blue Jean Tierney, who's a piano player, and I've played that for you. But so he like taught music, and Beth Anderson was a student of his, and I read that somewhere, and
awesome.
I recommend Robert Ashley too.
Okay, cool.
What's his name?
Robert Ashley.
Rick Astley.
Rick Astley. She was a student of Rick Astley.
Awesome. That explains it,
Aren't we all students?
I have one more thing that I was wondering about, and maybe it's been mentioned before. I've missed the last several weeks, but Kevin, you've been posting a different name on a lot of things, and I was wondering how to pronounce Real.
Yeah, it's hard because it's French. And so I don't even really know how to pronounce it properly. I won't even try. I like the way it looks, and it's like the masculine and feminine version of the word actual. So, yeah.
So is that like something that you would like to be called?
It would definitely, it would feel nice to be called that, and also to be taught how to pronounce it properly.
Okay, I'll do some digging and figure it out.
I like that you don't want to figure out how to pronounce it.
No, it's kind of interesting to me to have a name that you can't pronounce yourself.
I like that.
Because usually, like people, they feel like I'm the only person in the world that can really pronounce this name.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like if you travel to other countries and people are like, "How do you say your name?" And you're like, "Yeah, I'm an authority on that. I can tell you how to say it." But like. If you're not even an authority on how to say your own name, I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I just don't even want to have a name anymore.
Glib glob. Not you, Glib glob. You're one of the good ones. Should we talk to Buchanan?
Yeah.
It's good.
Thanks
yeah,
for
great to talk
hanging
to
with
you.
us,
Yeah.
Holly. It's good to see you again.
See you. Bye.
Buchanan.
Hi.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good. I've missed you so. How are you?
I'm good. I've had a busy couple of weeks. Just trying to stay active, trying not to go into a COVID depression.
That's good. How have you?
Yeah.
You have any tips?
Well, you could spend a lot of money on shoes. That's helped.
That's good.
I've been doing like online tarot readings using this app called Purple Ocean. And that feels good because I'm helping people. Because I just tell maybe I shouldn't say that, but I kind of write the in a really good way. I'm like, you should meditate on your problems and not spend money on psychics. So
That's cool.
Yeah, that's been fun. And I've been doing a tiny bit of writing, but yeah, maybe try those things.
That sounds like a fun gig doing the, what's it called?
It's called Purple Ocean.
Okay.
I signed up like a year ago and I was like really, really into it. I was like, this is gonna be my new career path. This is all I'm devoting my energy to. And then the clientele got really annoying.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and like some of the people on there are, but I turned it off for like a full year and then I turned it back on last week. And so far, everybody's been great.
That's awesome. How
yeah,
are they
and-
annoying? What's like?
I had a lot of people that would like ask the same question every day, which is,
wow.
I mean, good because you're getting money from them every day, but then there's really nothing new to report, you know?
Yeah.
And then sometimes people are unhappy with their readings, but that's only happened with me a few times, and I just don't care.
It's funny because my daughter Alibi always wants to get a tarot reading when we go to New York for some reason. And so we've been to some like kind of creepy spots, just like go up to this like second story room and it's like they're trying to sort of make it look mystical, but you can like hear a kid like listening to television in the other room with like a curtain, blocking it, and it's just like, okay, I don't know if this person's really going to be able to tell you very much, but
I remember going to one when I was in high school and they were like, you're really stressed out about school and your parents. And I was like, I could have told you that. Easy.
Yeah.
And then they were like, and the only way to deal with it is to buy this $40 candle.
I went to one, it was when I was visiting New York. It was before I lived here. And it was like a third floor walk up with like, a big curtain, or like a tapestry dividing a room.
Yeah.
And she gave me a great reading. And at the end, she was like, but you do have a curse on you. I can remove it for $600. There's an ATM upstairs. So now I was like, wow, I don't really believe anything I heard now, even though.
Oh my God. Did she say what the curse was?
No. But I mean, I guess I still have it. So we're working together.
We all have a curse.
Yeah, I guess
breathing.
it's the president, really.
I definitely have a curse.
That's like funny. It's like the upsell is, you gotta sell that curse. That's where the real money is.
Yeah.
Curse removal.
Well, I'm happy to remove any curses on anyone who's listening for half price.
Running a special this week. I can remove up to 3 curses for half price.
How do you remove a curse? Do you just say you're removing it now and then it's removed, or do you have to like do a whole thing?
I mean, I imagine it would involve like a lot of sage burning or drum beating, maybe like holding some crystals.
Sounds nice.
Yeah. It's kind of like how we spend our weekend anyways.
Yeah, I guess it's like 24/7. So based on the requirements.
Are you a Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan at all?
No, I've never seen Buffy. I'm taking in all kinds of other vampire content, but I've still yet to check out Buffy.
I can, like, when I first, because Christina loved it when she was a kid, and so she wanted to get me back in. She wanted me to get into it, so we could do it as a couple and stuff. And so, but the first episode I watched, I was like, so stupid. But then for some reason I was like, well, I'll give it another try. Or maybe you skipped ahead to like a more exciting season.
Well,
or
I tried
something?
to start us with the first episode ever.
Yeah, and I was just
And
kinda
you were
like,
not having it.
so dumb. But then I'm like super into it, and it's fun, and like, because there's that character Willow who does
a
lot of witchcraft.
Yeah.
She gets addicted to it, but it's kind of funny how the witchcraft stuff is like drugs in a lot of ways, where like the people who they do it too often, they get like hooked on it, and they go down these like dangerous, toxic paths with their lives, where they're like
witchcraft dealers. And they're like driving on magic and crash.
Yeah. yeah.
Check that out.
Driving.
It's really good.
Driving while magical.
Yeah. Season 6 of Buffy is one of the best.
Yeah, she finds this like creepy dude that's like a witch warlock guy, and he like can do some spell where she's like just basically like truly high, like she's like floating, like just like it's like, yeah, you like that, don't ya? And he's got like sparks between his fingers and stuff. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was when she drove on magic.
Yeah.
She
She
never
crashed.
did.
Yeah. You never drive on while using magic.
Yeah, she almost broke, or maybe she did break the arm of the fake sister, Dawn.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
But they'll figure that out soon enough.
Okay, I already know she's a lesbian, so.
Oh, Willow, yeah, Willow's
Yeah.
a lesbian.
Yeah.
But
I'm
she-
interested. I'm sold. Like she can
Yeah.
break whoever arm she wants.
Well, supposedly that's like the first lesbian kiss on television, were you saying?
I think so. Maybe first lesbian couple.
Mm-hmm. So that's cool.
I'm not sure.
Cutting edge.
Yeah.
What channel was it on? Do you remember?
I think it was on WB.
Okay.
Yeah, it was definitely on WB.
Yeah.
Cool. That's where the best stuff is.
Yeah, totally. Dawson's Creek, Felicity, Animaniacs.
I feel like there were we've like now reached the age where everybody, or not everybody, but a lot of people have like witchcraft and mind control fetishes, which is also really fun to exploit.
Oh, really? Like, is the fetish having your mind read?
I think like having your mind like washed.
How do you do that?
I think you just believe that it can be done. That's the key.
That's awesome.
Work with people who have that belief, and then you can
That's funny.
Yeah.
you charge a fee. That's how.
I want to get my mind washed. I mean, all that stuff is like, the placebo effect is an effect. Like, it does work.
Yeah, it's the strongest drug there is.
Yeah.
The brain drug.
Other than hydroxychloroquine.
Yeah. Well, I guess we should go because it's 8:05 and we got to go pick up Allie for Din Din. It's great seeing everybody.
It's great to see everyone.
So good to have the Krang back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good night. I hope everybody feels warm and safe tonight.
Feeling
And
warm
loved.
and safe. Bye.
Bye. Should we go out with a song?
Let's go out with a song.
Okay.
What song should we pick today?
Let's see. What do we have left here? Let's do Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter Says Yes?
Yeah.
All right. This is a very positive political song.
Can our government be competent? Jimmy Carter says yes. Jimmy Carter says yes. Can our government be honest? Jimmy Carter says yes. Jimmy Carter says yes. Can our government be decent and open? As the 39th president, he has spoken, yes. Jimmy Carter says yes. As your president, I, Jimmy Carter, know it is possible to run a government efficiently and
without sin or any corruption. I will do my level best to run the government decently without any statement of eruption. Errors and wrongdoings I will reveal to the public. For corruption while I'm in office, I'll not bargain. I'll stand tall like Old Glory, faithful to the Republic. Security will prevail, as sure as I'm the President. President Jimmy Carter. Can a government be competent? Jimmy Carter says yes. Jimmy Carter says yes. Can a government be honest? Jimmy Carter says yes. Jimmy Carter says yes. Can a government be decent and open? As the 39th president, he has spoken, yes. Jimmy Carter says yes. Jimmy Carter, our 39th president. Jimmy Carter.